What's up, pranksters? Welcome back. What I have here is a cup. Now, for those of you who have been following me for years, know that I've pulled off so many pranks using cups. They're just so easy to booby trap. So I've made a compilation of 5 cup pranks I've done in the past, so you may or may not have seen these before. But if you haven't yet, check it out. Do this, pranksters. Well, first of all, what you're gonna need is a cup. Now, I like going to Burger King a lot, so this is one of the most common cups that I have in my fridge. I usually don't finish them and I leave them in the fridge for a while, and you know, that's why I have a lot of these. So anyways, you're gonna need one of these, preferably a paper cup. Of course, you can use plastic or styrofoam, but paper cups are best. You'll also need the straw and the lid. So remove those and let's get started. And just like pretty much all my cup videos, you're gonna have to remove the bottom. So right here I have a blade. Use whatever you can, just remove the whole bottom. So once you have that cut out, you should have a little cylinder like this. Next, you're gonna need a plastic cup like this one. And basically what you're gonna do is put the cup inside like that. Push it in a little so it becomes very snug and the cup won't fall down, right? So this is what you have on the bottom. Obviously you have the cup there. What's good about this is that you have a gap right here, and that is what we're gonna work with. Flip it over like this. Grab yourself some oats. Dump some oats inside until the whole bottom is filled. You don't necessarily have to use oats. You can use flour or anything you might have available. Like I always say, oats make a big mess, and that's the point of this prank. To make a mess and have your victim clean it up. So fill it up all the way to the very top or bottom, since it's gonna get flipped over. Once it's leveled like this, place a napkin over it. Wrap it. And then you'll be able to flip it over like this and easily just slide out the napkin. Of course, if you have some remaining oats on the bottom, just wipe them off. Up next, we're gonna fill the cup with a drink, and of course it's not a prank without Kool-Aid, so I'm just gonna pour some in there. All the way to the very top. And that's it. The straw, you're gonna have to shorten it because of course the space is limited, so just trim it off. And then put the lid and the straws inside the cup, like that. Now you have yourself an awesome prank. And just like most pranks, half the work is setting it up, and then the other half is actually selling the prank. Now let's say you're in a situation where, let's say your roommate sent you out to get some food, right? And you bring back the burgers and the cups filled with your victim's drink, of course. And then you tell your roommate, hey bro, your cup and food is in the counter, go get it. As you can see, this looks like a normal cup filled with a drink. Just visualize the food being here and the prank would be perfect. Nobody will suspect a thing. Of course, the drink is there, so there's nothing to suspect about. Of course, they can't see the bottom, so that's how you're gonna get them. So let me give you guys a little demo. I'll be playing the roommate that gets pranked, and here's my drink, and my food should be right here. Now, what I would do is I would take a sip. I wouldn't suspect a thing because there's actually something coming out of the straw. So there's nothing to suspect about. Of course, I don't want to be eating on the counter, right? So I'm going to take the cup and move it to the table or somewhere where I want to eat, because I'm not going to eat on the counter. So I'll just grab the cup and, you know, attempt to move it. And this is what's going to happen. See that mess? It's a lot of it. No, you can use flour for this because it's even messier. So I don't want to go through the trouble of cleaning it up. So I used oats, but you can use flour or anything else that you want to use. And there you go, pranksters. One big mess. If I was the old Nextraker, I would probably do this. That's my rage. If you guys miss it and want to see some more of it, let me know in the comments. Since I like going to Subway all the time, I decided to get a cup from there, and I'm going to use this in my example. As you can hear, I already drank the contents inside, so all that's left now is just the ice, which you will have to get rid of. Like that. you're gonna have to save the straw and the lid. I always use 2 straws. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be 2. The point here is that you only need 1 straw to sell this prank. All right. You're also gonna need a water balloon, just a small one. Fill it up with water. But before you do that, we're gonna prep the cup. We're gonna be making a cutout on the bottom of the cup. Basically, it's gonna be about a C-shape type of cutout. So I'm gonna mark it out with a marker so you guys can see what kind of cutout I'm gonna make. All right, so here's my marker, and this is the cut I'm gonna be making. So basically, all of this I will be cutting out. Be careful when you do the cutout because this stuff is really sharp and it might cut you. So obviously, do this with caution. This is the cutout, pranksters. It should look like this. As you can see, most of the center was cut out except for this piece right here, which is very vital to this prank. Make sure it looks like this. Now it's time to fill up the balloon with water. So just attach it to the faucet and begin to fill it up. About this size is all right. Try to put it inside the cup and make sure it's super snug. Because as you can see, the cup, the further down it goes, the smaller it gets. So we want the balloon to actually be stuck on the bottom. Make sure it's the right size for this. Once you figure out the size for the balloon, just tie it. Okay, so set the balloon aside because you're not gonna put it in just yet. We're gonna continue prepping the cup. Here's what you're gonna do next. You're gonna take a thumbtack and stick it on this little flap that we left. So just on the inside, you can either glue it on or use tape. And I'm gonna use tape, of course. Should look something like this. Nothing too crazy, but just make sure that the thumbtack is pointing up this way, not pointing down. Make the flap flexible, so bend it back and forth. Now carefully, we're gonna put the balloon inside. Make sure you put some distance between the balloon and the flap. Stick the balloon inside like this, and then we're gonna add some liquids inside. You can add some soda or whatever your friend likes to drink, just to make it seem like this is legit. So go ahead and add it in there. What we just did is shorten the straw. This is what's gonna make it seem legit. Obviously you can't put a full straw in there because the balloon is in there. Before you put the lid back on the cup, you're gonna fill up the cup, like I said, with your victim's favorite drink. So fill it up. And here's the thing, guys, since the balloon is very snug in there, there will be no leaks at all. None whatsoever. So as your friend is drinking, he won't notice a thing. You can clearly see that the thumbtack is right there, just barely touching the balloon. Now, of course, when you give the cup to your friend, he's gonna look at the cup through a bird's eye view. He won't be able to see the bottom of the cup. For this prank to work, you gotta know that he's gonna go sit down and enjoy his lunch. So give him the cup like this, and he'll take a few sips of it, and of course he won't notice anything because half of the contents inside the cup contain his favorite drink. Your friend won't think anything of it. Really, pranksters, this prank is like the perfect prank you guys can pull on your friends. I wouldn't be able to tell that there's something wrong with this cup, but of course there is. Now, when they sit their cup down, this is what's gonna happen. So here's the demo, pranksters. So obviously their food is right there. Let's pretend that the counter is a table, and their drink, they're about to sit it down. So here's what's gonna happen. I don't know if you guys caught that, but there was a little splash there. And they're gonna be like, what the hell happened? So they're gonna pick up the cup. Oh no! Damn it! Or at least that's what I would assume their reaction would be. This is a really messed up prank, and I just got my shoes wet. Obviously you didn't see that, but my shoes are completely wet right now. Alright, so to pull off this prank, you're gonna need some scissors, string, tape, a thumbtack, like this one, it's very important, and of course a plastic cup. So first thing you're gonna do is get a piece of string, about a foot long or so. Just cut it, and then you're gonna take one end of the string and tie it onto the thumbtack. So just wrap it around the pointy part and then tie it. Perfect. Next, you're gonna take the thumbtack and pierce the bottom of the plastic cup. Right on the center if possible. Alright, should look something like this. And the other end of the string, you're gonna tape onto the counter or the table or anywhere where you're gonna put the cup. If you can tie a knot on one end, that way the tape will have a better grip on the string, so that when it's pulled, the tape won't peel off the table. Tape the string onto the table or counter. Now don't worry about the tape because obviously the cup will cover it. Before you place the cup on top, sort of coil the string so that it won't be visible. Try to cover it as best as you can. And there you have it. You can't really tell that there's anything underneath, so there will be no suspicion at all. Of course, and the last step is to fill up the cup with your victim's favorite drink. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but yes guys, this is Kool-Aid. As you guys can see, the cup is full, and if you look underneath, there aren't any leaks surrounding the cup. So basically the thumbtack is blocking any liquids from coming out. That is until, of course, the cup is lifted and then the thumbtack is pulled out of the cup. So I'm gonna give you guys a little demo, and if you find a bigger thumbtack, because I used a small one, but if you guys find a bigger thumbtack, even better. Well, this is what's gonna happen when dinner time comes around. Obviously your friend's drink is right here. He'll probably have his dinner on either side. So when it's time for him to take a sip, this is what's gonna happen. As you can see, it's gonna start leaking. All he can pretty much do is put his finger on it, but by that point he would already gotten some of his drink on his dinner, and I don't think somebody would want that. Basically, this is what kind of mess you'll make with a small thumbtack. It's not that big. I mean, you make a significant mess, so it's just a small little prank you can pull on your friends or family next time dinner comes around. So this is basically all you're gonna need: a cup, this is a paper cup, some tape, a coaster. This is made of cork. You're gonna need a cutting tool, so I'm using a blade, and these are magnets. They are very strong. I'm gonna use about 8 of these. These are really good. Alright, so let's get started with this prank. First, grab one of the coasters, and what you're gonna do is make a cutout on the bottom of the coaster, because you're gonna stick a couple of magnets inside. So make sure you are able to cut out just enough so that it's leveled with the magnets. So here I'm just going to trace this circle so that I know where to cut. So that's one, and I'm going to need another one. Now don't put this in the center, put it on the side. Although your cutouts are going to be on just one side. And this is important, and you'll see why towards the end. Take your blade and start carving it out. You gotta be patient because you can't go too fast, otherwise you'll pierce over the other side. You want this side to be looking normal, while this side obviously is gonna be tampered with. This is basically what it should look like after you've carved out the inside of the coaster. This is what it should look like when you have both magnets in there. Now you're gonna secure them on with some tape. Just use a couple of tapes so that the magnets don't come out, and then stick the other set of magnets inside. And just like you did with the other ones, secure them on with tape. And you're pretty flat, so once you place the coaster on the table or on any surface, it will look normal. So now you're halfway done. Get any type of cup, but for this example, I'm just gonna use a small paper cup. And if you see the bottom, it's already got this space, and that is perfect because like we did here, we're gonna hide some magnets underneath the cup. This is what you need to be careful though, because it's crucial on how you tape them on the cup. Refer to the coaster for help. Place the magnet close to the coaster, and if the magnet attracts the coaster, that means that's the side you don't want to use. You actually want to tape the magnet so that it repels the coaster. So if this side repels the coaster, this is the side that's going to be on the bottom of the cup, like this. Just tape it on like I did, and again, you're going to tape it on one side because you want this to be unbalanced. Tape your first set of magnets on the bottom of the cup like this. And then just place the other set of magnets right next to the other ones. It's a bit complicated working with magnets because they tend to get attached together, and it's hard to work around, you're gonna have to take the blade and cut off the excess tape that sticks out because you don't want any suspicions. And that's it, pranksters. You got the magnets taped down to the bottom of the cup. I kind of placed them on one side, and that is for a reason, because you don't want them to be balanced. You want them on just one side. And that is pretty much what's gonna help with this prank. One of the last things you need to do is actually place a double-sided piece of tape on the bottom of the coaster like this, and then lay the coaster down on the table. That way it won't move at all. This is just a regular cup. If you place it on top of the coaster, nothing will happen. If you place it on this, nothing will happen. If there is a certain individual that you want to prank, you're gonna give him this cup right here, the one with the magnet, and you're gonna have him sit on the table that has the coaster with the magnets on the bottom. So let's see what's gonna happen when your friend places the cup on top. We're gonna fill the cup with your victim's favorite drink, of course, like always. And you guys can already guess that I'm gonna be using Kool-Aid in the demo. Alright, pranksters, well, let me explain how this prank works. Since you set up the magnets on both the coaster and the cup so that they repel each other, when you place the cup on top of the coaster, it will actually tilt the coaster on one side, and it's gonna spill its contents, of course. So it'll be funny, especially if it's red punch and your victim is wearing a white shirt or maybe some white shoes. As you just saw, the magnets repelled each other, therefore causing that spill. And there it is. It's just gonna cause your victim to spill their drinks. So if you wanna have a little fun at your next party, try this prank out. Let's get started with this awesome prank. And as you can see on the counter, this is all you're gonna need. Some vinegar, baking soda, some plastic wrap, Kool-Aid, and this is a lid and a straw which go with the cup that you get at your favorite restaurant. Now, like I said, I went to McDonald's and I got this. So this is what I'm gonna use for this demonstration. For this prank, you're gonna have to volunteer to get your friend a cup of soda or whatever he likes to drink from his favorite restaurant, of course. So once you get to a restaurant, you get the cup, and obviously don't fill it up with anything. Just take it home, and when your friend is not looking, you're gonna prep this prank. Make sure the cup is dry and that there's no liquids in there. And what you're gonna do is pour some baking soda inside the cup. About an inch or so, like up to here, maybe an inch and a half. That is perfect. That'll add weight to the cup so that your victim won't be suspicious. All right, now you're gonna get a piece of plastic wrap. So place a piece of plastic wrap over the cup and then push it in like this. You can go as deep as you want depending on how much vinegar you're gonna add inside. Now before you put the vinegar inside, you might want to add some Kool-Aid. Also, depending on what kind of drink your friend asked for, try to match that color. For example, let's say your friend told you, hey, can you get me some grape soda or orange? You go and try to match the Kool-Aid, just to make it as realistic as possible. So just add a little bit of Kool-Aid. In this case, I'm gonna add some purple Kool-Aid. And then, of course, like I mentioned, add the vinegar inside. This is where you gotta be a little bit careful though. You wanna be holding on to the plastic wrap so it doesn't go in, because the vinegar will add weight to it. So you don't want it to go in just yet. So fill it up all the way to the very top. That is a lot of vinegar. And the more vinegar, the better. So while holding that plastic wrap, place the lid so that it snaps in and it actually let go of the plastic wrap. So yes, you got a bunch of it sticking out, and that's why you get a blade and you just cut it off. So just go around trimming it, and your victim won't be able to suspect a thing. And now it looks like a regular cup of soda, and it is heavy, so therefore your victim will not get suspicious at all. This is perfect. Just like you just saw, it doesn't take much to set up this prank. It doesn't really take a lot. It takes less than a minute if you do it fast. So there you go. This is the booby trapped cup. I'm pretty sure you guys know what happens when you mix vinegar and baking soda, right? If not, then you might want to Google it or wait till you see the demonstration here. So the last thing is to actually leave the cup on the counter and tell your friend that it's there. And don't forget to leave a straw behind, because that's what's going to pierce through that plastic wrap and release that vinegar into the baking soda. So I'm going to give you an awesome demonstration of what will happen when your victim puts a straw inside the cup. Alright, so you told your friend, hey bro, your drink's on the counter, go get it. So he'll either grab it and take it to the table, or he'll just put the straw right there and then, and this is what's going to happen. grab the straw, and obviously you use force when you insert the straw into the lid, because as you can see, it's not that easy to just push it in. So you use force, and with that force, it's actually gonna help pierce through the plastic wrap. So this is what's gonna happen. Oh man, yeah, it's messier than I thought. So yes, pranksters, that's the reaction that you'll get, or that's the reaction that they'll get once they put the straw through that lid. And it will be totally unexpected, and they will freak out. And I'm trying to push the liquids back because I don't want to clean this mess. So yeah, pranksters, try this out. It's a really funny prank. So let me know what you guys think. That demo was so good that I just have to do it again. So I've booby trapped the cup once more, and let's see what happens again. Well, I just missed. So this is a big fail, but no, I'm pretty sure your victim won't miss. It's because I have the camera here, so I was looking at the camera. But yes, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Oh man, look at that. Yes, and it happens instantly, so it's not like it takes a while. As soon as they put the straw in, the vinegar starts mixing with the baking soda, and the reaction is instantly. So this is what happens, pranksters. It's a really fun, messy prank that you just gotta do. Just gotta. It doesn't take much. I'm pretty sure you guys already have vinegar and baking soda at home. All you gotta do is get your victim's favorite cup, maybe some Kool-Aid, just to make the prank a bit more fun. And that's it, pranksters. Go ahead, try it out. Just so you guys know, this is an original Nextraker prank. And there you guys have it. 5 pranks you guys can pull off on friends and family using cups. And just so you guys know, I have more cup pranks at my channel, as well as other types of pranks and booby traps. So if you guys want to see more, please check out my channel, youtube.com/Nextraker. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I will see you guys in my next video. In this video, I'm gonna be showing you guys 5 pranks that you guys can do using fidget spinners. So I've poured some blood onto this little container right here, and I'm gonna use a syringe to extract some of this blood. And you smear some on your forearm like this, just barely. Now how this challenge works is you're gonna flip over the cup like this. You're gonna place a fidget spinner on top and then make it spin. So the purpose is that you're gonna flip over the cup, and you're gonna have to have the fidget spinner land inside like this. And then when I try to flip over the cup, this is what's gonna happen.